Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Norco, where today we are living the quintessential modern American experience. We're deathly sick, we're desperately in debt because we're deathly sick, and we just got weird orders from an app that nobody understands to do work in exchange for a tiny, tiny amount of money that's really not going to make anything better. Video games. So we need to, we should probably stop and actually, let's see if we can ask Dallas some questions here. The only reason I ever come to the quarter is for work. So how'd you get involved with Super Duck? This all used to happen on Craigslist. Posts showing up, the strangest things. I was bussing tables uptown. Couldn't swing rent, had a kid to feed, so I started responding to the listings. The first one I ever did was steal a head drive. Broke into a man's house in Norco, stole it right out of his office, brought it to another house. The people there were just like me. Just like you, how? I didn't know shit. They were there because of a post just like I was. The house wasn't theirs, and nobody knew whose house it was. They plugged the head drive into a wall, they gave me some cash, and I left. This is all very concerning. And the thing is, though, like, it's not... There are ways in which it gives you this creepy feeling that you might be involved in something dark, something illicit. But, like, if you think about the kinds of things you will be doing and the kinds of causes you will be working in service of at, like, a quote-unquote normal job for, like, a big company or something, is this really likely to be any worse? Alright, so what's next? We met at the rendezvous point. So now what? Check your phone. Quack ought to have the information we need. Sure, yeah. Alright, we did that part. Receive orientation at Eagle Janitorial and Paper Supplies. Right. I remember this. Do we know where that is? If I talk to him, will he be able to give me... Nope, no new information. Maybe we call a car? I still don't have the money, but... Oh, no, okay, never mind. I have some money now. Is that a conversion directly from the Quack coin? Because that, if so, that tiny portion of Quack coin turned out to be fairly valuable, actually. Alright, let's... Yeah. Eagle Wholesale. Also, apologies. It sounds like the people I'm living with are moving a piano into the house or something. Hopefully none of that will pick up on the microphone. A steady beat of traffic lights the sky. Steady beat of traffic lights the sky along the causeway. Listen, English has a lot of words that are sometimes nouns and sometimes verbs and sometimes adjectives, and sight reading a lot of text here. Obviously, we're gonna go inside, but, like, just making sure I'm taking in our surroundings first. The doors are locked. The office is closed. But the galvanized steel door next to the supply warehouse is half opened. Okay. What am I even... Wow. Oh, okay, that's where we're gonna just... Jesus. Okay. Erica said Blake went to Floodgate Tavern yesterday evening. Let's pass by on the way home and see what information we can gather. Yeah, that sounds like a real plan. Hold on a second. I need to spend a moment in my mind map. We have definitely picked up some information that I haven't had time to think about. It's the Ditch Man. So is the yellow boxes are more or less completed, and the blue boxes are the newer ones, right? The blue shapes. So it's not 100% clear to me, like, our character Kay doesn't know any of the stuff that we just personally experienced, right? We haven't actually gotten a hold of Catherine's the information that Catherine left behind. This is an interesting format for a game like this. Your brother was headed to Floodgate Tavern. He mentioned this to Erica when he dropped by Sarpy Paperbacks to see her yesterday evening. At this point, I'm comfortable saying our brother seems like kind of a lot. Younger, reckless, gets in trouble, spends sleepless nights scrolling image boards. An edgelord, a shitlord, a sensitive soul, compassionate, foolish, can't take criticism, always needs money, tries to help those he loves, but often makes things worse. There was a time in my life. What else? Insecure, dysmorphic, constantly checking his reflection, always seeking validation. Was terrified of you leaving, and now he's terrified of you dying. It does kind of seem like when I think of him, all I feel is guilt and obligation. No love or anything like it. Your brother. Yeah, let's maybe just... A lot of people got real complicated relationships with their families. Mine has gotten less complicated, I guess, recently, but only because it turns out my dad's dead. That's a whole story I should tell sometime. Troy knows your family. He was buying pills from Blake and occasionally helping your mom with her research. He says she was conducting research in the lake. Yeah, that's all interesting stuff. Oh, this is... Huh. So yeah, these symbols... Are there lights for these other things somewhere? This one here lights up when we mouse over our own face, and then the one below it. Huh. Million. Million was a fugitive. That seems like the most relevant thing to our lives. Once a fugitive, now just a relic. She spends hours in stasis beneath the house, like any discarded thing would. But at some point she was a security android. She guarded the perimeter of the aluminum refinery in Gramercy. One day she ran away. Why? You don't know. This feels like a big leap, and especially I'm not sure what this word means in the context of an android. No, let's just, let's back out of this. Let's think about S.H.I.E.L.D. for a minute. What else? Do we know anything else valuable about S.H.I.E.L.D.? Because obviously it seems like their fingers run through absolutely everything that's going on in the area, right? S.H.I.E.L.D. is, among many other things, an oil refinery. S.H.I.E.L.D. Gulf South is a regional subsidiary of a transnational oil empire. It holds a large share of leases in the Gulf of Mexico and refines crude oil right here in Norco. The chemical annex sits on the other side of town from the refinery. It produces the feedstock for plastic consumer products. S.H.I.E.L.D. owns half the town. Only half. Okay, we'll have, I'm sure, much more stuff associated with them eventually. Reports of construction. Your mom was investigating reports of construction in the lake. She found no evidence of it, nor who might be behind it. Seems like there's a lot of weird stuff going on with that lake, though. So our mom was conducting research. But for who? For a client in Fat City. I mean, we knew that part. I was kind of expecting a little bit more examination there. Was conducting research in the lake. She's investigating reports of unpermitted S.H.I.E.L.D. construction in the lake. While there, she saw something. But what? She saw some kind of glowing orb that other people have also seen. I mean, it's got to be a drone of some kind, but like, what was it doing is the question. I like this style of like the concepts literally being out of focus until you have some kind of handle on them. There's a lot of cool stuff going on here. Alright, so the big oil refinery is just kind of in the middle of everything. Although, in some ways, it's all around everything. Such as if you are the graveyard. Place looks open. Many shield workers gather here after their shifts. That's Private Detective Brett LeBlanc sitting at the end of the bar. He's an unpredictable character, but we may benefit from speaking to him. Why are you looking at me like that? I still got chili on my face? Yeah, that's probably what it is. We'll investigate the rest of the scene in a moment here. Yeah, you sit here long enough, you never know who might pass through. Hey Gus, look at this dynamic duo. I'm not sure I've seen these two around before today. Sure, Gus. That filthy one right there, that's Kate Madeire's oldest. Other one's her robot. You're pulling my leg. That's Kay? Blue's baby? Come on now. I work the turnarounds with Blue. Good man. Great man. He had some stories, him. How come his kids came out like they did? Look how this one's dressed. It looked to me like she's headed to a job site. Or the circus. Blue passed before his time is why them kids don't dress right. Blue knew how to dress. You're right about that one, Keith. Sad the way the kids turned out, but forget all that. You two are lucky to be stumbling in while I'm sitting here. You're in the company of a top-rated professional sleuth, and I happen to have a bit of information. I'm not gonna... He did the burp for us. Alright, spit it out then. I'm feeling pretty on edge and annoyed after this back and forth. Hey, listen. I do things on my own time, you understand? Whining ain't gonna make this go no quicker. What he means to say is he don't do nothing but sit around here and drink. My ass, I'm the hardest working flatfoot you can find, me. LeBlanc, please, time is of the essence. Cool your heels, I'm getting to it. Now I see why Kate kicked you to the curb. That is not correct. Save your battery life, I'm just playing with you. I'll tell you what. Why don't you get me a drink so we can talk? I feel like I am constantly being run for money by everybody in this game. What is this? Over here we have a wasted guy. A man lies face down on the bar, surrounded by empty bottles. You okay there? Why are you touching my partner? This is where you come to relax. As you can probably tell, I do not have anything approaching a New Orleans accent in me, nor would I even know how to approach that, so I apologize that I'm not really doing much with the locality of the setting. The LCD pulse of the evening news makes pale shadows across the bar. An image of a man with a long gray beard hangs over the news anchor's shoulder. Another pipeline explosion has left residents of Lower St. Charles Parish shaken. SHIELD officials have determined that the source of the explosion was due to a botched attempt by oil pirates to divert the flow of oil into a stolen barge. A man familiar to local law enforcement, known only as Lucky, was among the pirates, SHIELD officials say. He is believed to be hiding in the Batier Woods along the east bank between Kenner and Laplace. Residents are asked to call Crime Stoppers with any information. Hey Keith, what's your deal? You apparently knew Blue. I don't see how anyone can believe the crap the media's been putting out these days. It's all lies meant to divide working people. See for yourself. He gestures to the TV. Is that why you're making your website, Keith? To set the record straight? You know that's right. Evening, folks. Can I get something started? Yeah, I need a beer for your boy here. Lord help me. Another sap buying that lowlife a drink. Yeah, I feel pretty taken advantage of already, thank you. I might need you to buy me a little snack, too, seeing as my wallet's all the way out in the car. But this is good enough to get us going. So, alright, where do I even start? Your mama ever tell you about me? No, I don't think so. Nothing? I mean, shit, she must have said something. Hard-nosed detective, charming, mysterious. Give it up, Brett. Alright. Look, I'm sure I came up. The problem is you got a piss-poor memory. Us investigators, we gotta keep our memories sharp. So, while you don't know me, I know a lot about you. I grew up in this town, you understand. My cousin Susie's ex-husband knew your daddy when he was still at the plant. And Catherine, she was a few grades above me at Sacred Heart. Knew her since I was a boy. Everyone around here knew Catherine. And she was always getting herself into trouble, always drawing attention to herself. That's consistent with our characterization of her so far, I think. But people'd say she was kin to Jesus. Old man lived behind loops would say that. Talking about Pawpaw? Yeah, Pawpaw. It's been years since I thought about him. Lot you could say about Pawpaw. He'd whisper some bullshit and get everyone repeating it. It wasn't all bullshit. Saying a coon-ass like me a child of Christ, you know that's bullshit. We all Christ's children. Not like that, Gus. You know what I mean, like literally. Wait, what? Oh, this was years ago, long before Blue died. Pawpaw told the priest a family of Cajuns come from Jesus. Said Catherine had, how do you say it? Like Jesus blood. Got it from her daddy's daddy and so on, all the way back to the old world. You know, like in that movie, the one with the volleyball. That ain't the right movie, Gus. It's the one with the priests and stuff. Hell, I don't know. I don't watch movies. I figure some of that's likely to be true. You believe any old shit, Keith. No disrespect. And Catherine never noticed. She was off on her own planet, wild as she was. Pawpaw never wanted to be seen. He was watching Catherine, but she weren't watching him. Blue wouldn't let no man like that near her anyhow. You got a point there, Keith. You'd be foolish to get in Catherine's way. Where she went, trouble followed. But I admired her, and she admired me. Sure, who wouldn't? It doesn't explicitly say that we said this sarcastically, but like there's no other way to read that line, right? Anyone who knows him? Oh, piss on you. Or sees him. You always been jealous of my looks. Or smells him. Now I know you're full of it. I sprayed this whole suit down in cologne just this morning. Yeah, I bet you did. Don't mind Gus. I always been the handsome one. He gets jealous. Maybe you forget what I wanted to tell you. Oh, that's right. Your house is out there near the fence line. Well, that's right behind my place of business. I got a window looks out on the yard, more or less. But this is a pretty long story. And like I was saying, I ain't got my wallet with me. And you want us to buy you another drink. Huh, that's a real generous offer, Robot. Thank you for that. Unbelievable. No, it's pretty believable. Yeah, LeBlanc wants another. A word of warning, he'll bleed you dry. Yeah, we'll see. This is the cheap stuff. I ain't complaining or nothing, just making an observation. Tastes like dog piss. Which is a thing that you know the taste of. Okay, interesting information. There's real important information I'm trying to share here. Valuable, you might say. And you buy me the cheapest beer in the house? A little rude, maybe, but that's okay. That ain't no problem. So listen here. This is what I want to tell you. My office window looks out on your mama's yard. I'm always keeping an eye on the street. This was a little ways back, right after Catherine passed. I was looking out there on the street like I do, and I seen these shield security types leaving the house. They was carrying a box. You saw shield security leaving Catherine's house with a box. That's what I'm saying, robot. It was walking out the front door with a box, casual as can be. And where the hell were you? Ain't you some kind of security robot yourself? Well, I can imagine why he didn't stop the SHIELD agents. Well, what do you think SHIELD would be looking for? Hell if I know. Laura St. Clair, the regional CEO they got over there, she always took a bit of interest in your mama. I hear she's a loose cannon. And why would she be interested in my mom? Well, everybody was. He's right. Everybody wanted what was in her head. Okay, what about this loose cannon remark? That's just what they say. You're talking about Laura? Piece of work, that woman. Surprised she hasn't run the whole operation into the ground. The only reason the board keeps her on deck is because of her father. A lot of people want her gone. Well, who's her father? Thomas St. Clair, founded Clair Bionics. They made robots just like your friend here. Hell, Million might be a St. Clair unit herself. Interesting that she's not responding to that at all. Anyhow, man's rich as can be. Thomas St. Clair's a servant of the devil. There Gus goes with his bullshit. It's not bullshit, it's truth. Alright, Gus. Alright, enough about Laura St. Clair. What the hell? I'll ask him. I know what he's going to say already, though. So why didn't you stop those SHIELD agents? Well, because I was busy. With what? You know, just busy. Who cares with what? When are you ever busy with anything? All the time. I can hardly get a minute to relax. Okay, so what were you doing? I told you, I was looking out the window and I saw them SHIELD people. So answer the question, Brett. You see these people breaking into a home, you're always coming around here bragging about stopping bad guys. If I wasn't so busy, I might have killed them. Sometimes I wonder if half these stories you tell... Ask around town. Everyone knows I'm a killer. Are just fantasies you make up to convince yourself. I was taking a shit. The detective smooths his tie as a moment of silence settles over the room. The window's next to the toilet. I'm always watching the street because I have irritable bowel syndrome. I ain't even started wiping when I saw them SHIELD dudes, alright, bruh? Would you run down Apple Street with poo all over your ass? The man closes his eyes and shakes his head slowly. I take that as a no. You wouldn't. Nobody would. You gotta have a clean ass to fight crime. Everybody knows that. That's okay. On this, I am on LeBlanc's side. Had I been done wiping, I guarantee you they'd be dead right now. I'm serious. Okay, that's enough. That's enough of that. But before you go, I got one more thing. I'm hungry. It would be a real nice gesture of appreciation if you bought your informant something to eat. And circle back afterwards. I might have a little more information to share. Do I have a sense of how much money I have? I can't look at my phone, right? I guess I don't have a phone, right? I threw it in the Rio Grande. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna do it. This guy sucks and is an asshole, but he also might actually be valuable to us later, and... yeah, he got hungry. Sucker born every day. It's good for business, I guess. Yeah, so maybe stop calling me names. Listen, what about you? You know Blake Madare? Yeah, I know Blake. He hasn't come around in weeks. Not since he ripped me off. Wish I could say it was the first time. Wait, Blake ripped you off? I let him catch some sleep right here behind the bar after last call. Wouldn't you know, boy walked off with the register. I knew he'd been getting himself all messed up on drugs. Was trying to give the kid a chance, give him some chores around the place. Done with him now. done with him. But someone said Blake came by here last night. That's not what she said. She said that Blake told her he was going to come by here last night, right? It's a critical difference. I wish our character had noted. Nah, he'd be a fool to show up here after what he did. Alright, thank you. Does Keith have anything of value to say? No, okay. Same garbage as last time. I thought maybe after the long conversation. You know what? I'm good. Let's just step out. Before we leave, let's be sure to gather all the information from LeBlanc that we can. Oh, I thought that circle back around afterward thing was like go do something else and then like come back toward the end of the night. But alright. Yeah, I should have mentioned I don't care much for the fries here, but that's okay. I ain't complaining. Just would have liked me a sandwich is all. But forget all that. What's important right now is that you understand what I told you. I saw S.H.I.E.L.D. thugs leaving your mama's house with a box. What the box contained, no idea. But they was in there looking for something. No telling what. They got them headquarters deep inside the refinery in that old plantation house, where the real action happens. If I had to guess where they was heading, that'd be it. Say, Keith, you getting all this? Every word. And Keith's making himself a little news website. What's the name gonna be, Keith? I got a few ideas in mind. You're just like Duck, bruh. Duck used to be a news junkie too, digging up dirt on all the bigwigs, as before the cancer knocked him on his ass. Some people just want to know the truth. You been by to see Duck, Kay? Man could use visitors. Who seems like a weird question to ask here? We know who Duck is. No, not yet. Well, you better go see him. The old boy knows shit no one else does. Okay, well, where is he? What do you mean? Kate must have took you to see Duck 1,000 times. Just think about it for 2 seconds. Perhaps LeBlanc is right to suggest that we visit him at some point. Perhaps. Oh yes, quite. Why do you talk like that? Did they make you in England or something? You sound like a queen. Thank you. Weird ass thing. So Million is maybe speaking with a British accent, probably like received pronunciation or something. I'm not gonna try to do that. Anyhow, figure I'll be seeing you two again. Good luck. He's a classy dude. Listen, I got more questions. Hurry it up then. We're looking for my brother. Why don't you ask Gus about that? I don't keep up with Blake no more. Too much trouble. Yeah, that seems fair. You know, we might need help getting into the refinery. Getting in that refinery ain't easy. I know that much from experience. You should find one of them people like they've been talking about on the news to help you out. Oil pirates. Barricading Highway 1, diverting pipelines and all this. Them the only kind I ever seen get through security. They were saying on TV one of them pirates been hiding in the Bachelor Woods. It's all over the TV. Yeah, no, I know. Okay, thank you. Yeah, this is just the news report. We already saw this. Hold on, I got more questions. I'm not done talking to you. You two knuckleheads managed to figure out what S.H.I.E.L.D. was looking for. You come and tell me. Good detective should know what's going on. Yeah, maybe you'll buy me some fries in exchange for that. Tell me more about this pawpaw. What you want to know? Where is he now? Living in a ditch somewhere. Is he? That ain't nice, Gus. Well, he left here a long time ago. Used to do odd jobs, roofing, fabrication, that kind of thing. No telling where he went. Probably looking for work. How well did you know him? I'd see him walking by every now and then, exchange a few words. They say he threw a brick through the church window once upon a time. That had people buzzing. And a lot of us knew who he was, but no one knew much about him. One of those kinds of people. And how did he become fixated on my mom? Small town like this, your mama attracted attention. He was watching too many movies, cooked up some strange ideas, got his wires crossed. That's my guess. Sounds about right to me. Alright, that's enough about that. I'm not going to ask him where I can find Duck, because he's just going to be mean to me about it. Alright, let me do that. Let me think about it for a minute here. So, LeBlanc. Private investigator Brett LeBlanc. Saw S.H.I.E.L.D. agents leaving our house with a box. Okay, I don't have any memories of him. I wasn't lying about that, apparently. So, Blake never ended up at the Floodgate Tavern. He told Erica he was going, but he never showed up. And he never intended to, right? This is not like he got lost along the way. He would have known that he couldn't go there. So why did he lie to Erica about where he was going? An old man in Norco named Pawpaw had delusions about your mom. He believed her to be a descendant of Jesus Christ by way of her Cajun ancestry. He once threw a brick through a church window. Well, hold on now. We heard a story. I wouldn't necessarily go assuming that that's true. Laura St. Clair is the regional executive of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oil. Her role's not secure. The board wants to replace her, but they fear the influence of her father. She's also interested in Mom for some reason. Likely due to some aspect of your mom's research. This is getting a little tiny bit tangled, in fact. A fugitive oil pirate hiding in the Mississippi River Batur Woods, who maybe could be of some assistance to us. And then we know just a little tiny bit about Thomas St. Clair, at least for now. Laura St. Clair's father and the affluent founder of Claire Bionics, a machine learning startup. So hold on a second. Yeah, LeBlanc suggested you visit him, but where does he live? You try to recollect. Okay, so things are not always going to have a blue outline when it is useful to click on them. It's just that there's a blue outline if there's a new dialogue type choice. Maybe. Who knows? Try to recollect his health. It took a turn before you left. A bit of lethargy, irregular breathing, sores on his legs. Your mom brought him food on days when he was unable to stand. What about his son? Dead at 14. An explosion in the yard. Natural gas leaking from a pipe. Something caused a spark. Jesus. The pipeline crossed the property to S.H.I.E.L.D.'s chemical annex. There's only one neighborhood along that fence line, or what's left of it anyhow. Small fragments of his home pass through the black ink of your mind. The perennial accumulation of dust, the damp curtains and pile of cans on the kitchen table in those refinery shadows of the little slab bungalow. Duck lives in Dimes. Okay, that's good information. Dimes is the neighborhood along the fence line of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s chemical annex. Yeah, okay, hold on though. I wanna dig a little bit. Oh, I'm not allowed to dig a little bit more on Duck, because we had not checked his face line. Not that it was going to be useful to us, but I'm gonna step outside before I talk to Million. This has taken another unusual turn. Erica told us that Blake was headed here yesterday evening, but the bartender says that Blake hasn't come by in weeks. Something may have happened on his way here. LeBlanc says that S.H.I.E.L.D. has stolen a box of your mother's possessions. See, this is really interesting. The game is really leaning on this, and I can't tell if it is trying to say that this is what actually happened, or if it wants us to notice that this does not exactly comport with Erica's story. Because again, we don't have any idea of Blake's intent to go here, and it seems very unlikely that he would have intended to go here. We just have him saying a thing to Erica. It's so weird that everybody's assuming he was telling her the truth. We have nothing else to go on. We must retrieve the stolen items and hope that they point us toward your brother. Accessing S.H.I.E.L.D.'s headquarters won't be easy. Without assistance, perhaps impossible. I suggest we recruit help before attempting it ourselves. Yeah, I suggest we go talk to Duck before we do any of that. But first... Hold on. You're a hint system. One thing at a time here. Do I have a pin for the dimes? No, that's shield. Here we go. The house is partially boarded up. You assume it's an artifact of hurricane preparation that has since become a permanent fixture. God, look at the refinery just like looming over it. Shield's chemical annex sits a small distance from the house. Not allowed to interact with anything else out here. You know, we haven't asked for Monkey's take on things. Maybe we will after this. That's definitely a whole person. I'll just turn on the lights here if you don't mind. Hey, Duck. They're not the first ones to come through here, toppling over all my shit in the dark. Since the buyout, people think the neighborhood's all the way empty. Come around looking for copper. But you wouldn't do that kind of thing, Kay. Not like your brother. Yeah, how's it been, Duck? How's it been? About how it looks. I made such a mess with that head drive. Just trying to keep myself out of trouble till it's my turn to go. So... yeah, you're just, hanging out here in the dark? Yes, I am. So what's this about a head drive? I unleashed it. The monster. Super Duck. Calls itself that just to get to me. Just to piss me off. It's my fault. The company that made it for me, I should have known from the get-go. They only do their business at night. Found out later they ain't even got a license. Your mother went to the same clinic for hers. I tried to warn her. The junk that was in my brain. He begins to laugh. Spreading around like a virus. It's even in the trees. I told your mother, don't get messed up in any of that. She tells me it's talking to her through the radio. I said, turn off the radio. She never listens. Stopped responding to me. I figure that monster's got money to burn. Catherine didn't want to leave her debt for you to deal with, so... yeah, so you kept up with my mom. Well, up until right near the end, Kay. She lived like she wasn't sick. She never quit. But I could see it wearing on her. Took a toll on her body. It started in her liver. They burned it out, thought maybe that was the end of that. Before you know it, they found a little in her lungs. She was still going all over town, walking up and down airline like some kind of bag lady. I figure she thought it'd go away if she ignored it, but that didn't work out for her. Once it came for me, it never did quit. I've been getting sores. Cramps every day. I can't keep nothing down. Tried to tell her that. Said, Catherine, this is not the kind of thing you can work off. She thinks she listened? By the time it got to her brain, that was all there was to it. No more working, no more doing nothing. But she'd already gotten fed up with me by that point. Never really made amends before they put her in that mausoleum with your daddy. Hurts my heart thinking about it. But what can you do? No hiding from God's will. So... yeah, I have some more questions about my mom. So this monster, my mom was working for it? I ain't even thinking about that thing. It knows I'm here dying while it grows and grows. Big, disgusting, toxic birds sprouting from the ground all over the region, with teeth and hands and all kinds of shit. Unbelievable. Turns my stomach. But you know what? I won't be the first to die. Hell no. You roped your mother into some lunacy. She wouldn't tell me the details. I couldn't get a single word out of her after that point. Did you go to the funeral? I planned to. Arranged for my godchild to pick me up and everything. But, day of the service, I couldn't hardly walk. I heard from a couple of people it was a beautiful one. For all the bridges she burned, there was plenty of people had nice things to say. Even a few of her colleagues from the university showed up, the ones who got her sacked. I know that'd chap her ass. They buried her with that fake little ring she always wore around her neck. She'd say it reminded her who she was. I figure she probably wanted to give it to you, but you were gone. And Blake, well, he'd have pawned it to anyone fool enough to buy it. So. Sorry, the ring she wore around her neck was fake? You don't know the story? Kind of funny if it weren't so sad. Your granddaddy wanted to prove he was from royal stock, so he broke into a pawn shop up there on Airline and stole the biggest ruby he could find. Went around telling everyone it was from the old world. Said it traveled from France to Nova Scotia and then down the Mississippi River. Well, that was a bunch of bullshit. He ended up in Angola for it, though they never did find the ring. Catherine took it to an appraiser one time. It's cubic zirconia, fake. Man spent months in jail for a fake piece of jewelry. After that, everyone started calling him King Pierre. They laughed him out of crevasse. And Mom wore it around her neck to say that it reminds her, yeah. That's layered. My mom was fired from the university? Sure, you were young. It couldn't have been too long after Blue passed. She lied up and down to get that job. It weren't nothing special neither, just community college in the city. But that's Catherine, and never wanted to play it straight. Suppose Blake took after her in that respect. Okay, interesting information about her. Again, feels a little bit like the way we were already playing her. Doesn't mince words, doesn't mind lying to people when it gets her something. Like, yeah. Alright, enough about my mom. You mentioned a buyout. I'm gonna come to my personal business last. I mean, you must have noticed coming in, the houses are all gone. People here have been fighting with S.H.I.E.L.D. all their lives. They got a little momentum on their side after the last explosion. The papers are making S.H.I.E.L.D. look bad. But, hell, we were here first. S.H.I.E.L.D. moved in, we suffered. Gas leaks, noise, explosions. Can't grow my vegetables out in the yard. Just won't grow. I never cared to move, but I knocked doors for it anyhow. If S.H.I.E.L.D. had never dropped in on us, my little plot of land would be worth something. The money they were offering to buy us out was alright. It'd be worth a lot more had they never come. The number they put in front of me, I said piss on it. I could have sued after Reese died. Just didn't have the energy for it. Now I'm the last one left in dimes. So I'm sorry about Reese. That's history. Most days I can't remember his face, if I'm honest. When you fill out the survey at the head drive clinic, they ask you to write down memories. Control points, they call them. All them years ago, I couldn't stand to write out his name. It's too painful. So I skipped his memory. I regretted it at first, but I'm thankful for it now. It'd be a lot worse if that monster carried a piece of my boy inside it. Yeah, geez. The idea of a version of you, like, the thematic implications of the idea of a sort of a storage backup of yourself that gains sentience and gets free, like, there's some very rich, dense stuff happening here. I'm very, very eager to see where it all leads. Look, we're trying to get into the refinery. Oh, not a good idea, Kay. What for? Well, they stole my mom... Class project. Look, they stole my mom's stuff. Well, that's interesting. The regional executive, she took a particular interest in your mother. Yeah, do you know why? She wanted to know the things Catherine knew, I suppose. Your mother was out in the lake. She heard S.H.I.E.L.D. or somebody was building some kind of rig out there. Wanted to find out for herself. She didn't find what she was looking for, but she found something. Sounded to me like her medication was messing up her head, but she insisted it was real, some kind of UFO. Said it followed her for nearly a mile. But anyhow, that CEO they got at S.H.I.E.L.D., she's about as far out of her mind as your mother was. She must have caught wind of all this. Catherine got to be careful in her old age. Paranoid, even. The important things she kept hidden. And whatever S.H.I.E.L.D. stole, it wasn't nothing important. But you want to get it back. Yeah, can you help us get in? I'm going to regret telling you this, but I've been sitting on it so long, I've been dying to tell somebody. I don't know how S.H.I.E.L.D. managed to do it, but they fucked up. They bought out this neighborhood, and ever since they did, they put me behind the firewall. Got a computer terminal back there. Every time I boot it up, I get a view of the inside. Oh, that's interesting. Not like I know what the hell to do with it. Clicked around a bit, but just got myself lost. Can't hardly read the screen. Computer's back there in my little library. You have a look. And whatever you do, Kay, I'm asking you to be careful. Yeah, thanks. A trophy sits atop the bookshelf reading Junior Champion Reese Richards, St. Charles Parish, YX2B. Doesn't say what it's a trophy for, though. What have we here? A strange ornamental box. I'm not going to open it just yet. Let's do the computer stuff first, in case opening the box makes Duck mad and he tries to throw me out or something. Storage containers filled with paperwork and newspaper clippings. Alright, same deal here. You peruse the titles on the bookshelf. The Pigman. It's a weird bit of synchronicity. Some claim... Some claim that the Pigman is a type of grunch who hides beneath the interstate bridges that cross Lake Pontchartrain. Legend has it that if you bring the Pigman a gift, he will return a gift to you in kind. Huh. U.S. Army Corps Anomalous Light Report. What is this? Oh, Anomalous Light Report. Not like a report that is light about something anomalous. A report on the levitating spheres of light witnessed by multiple onlookers above Camp Memory in the Bonnet Car Spillway through the spring and summer of YX1S, commissioned by the United Army Corps of Engineers. After careful survey of the soil content in the area near Camp Memory, our inquiry has determined anaerobic conditions conducive to the formation of confined pockets of gas. Yeah, swamp gas. It was just swamp gas, right? That's what they tell you. These spontaneous incidents of combustion were likely mistaken for floating luminous spheres. So, I mean, Duck was looking into whatever it was Catherine saw. Not that I find that terribly surprising, but it's good to know. The head of a buck is mounted to the wall. What have we here on the ephemera board? A collection of bills, letters, and photographs are pinned to the board. The photographs are of various industrial and infrastructural landscapes you recognize from around the region. The Geismar aluminum refinery, the grain elevators downriver, the airport control tower. Huh. Kind of a curious thing. A printout containing the letterhead of a law office in Metairie sits in the tray of the printer. Mr. Richard, after carefully studying the circumstances of the buyout, we recommend that you proceed with relocation. S.H.I.E.L.D. is not legally obligated to provide you with an easement. You may find yourself trespassing on private property when leaving and returning to your home. How could it possibly be the case that they're not... Okay. Because that's the way the law works. But, Jesus Christ. The circumstances in this game angry my blood up something fierce. A computer console with a large trackpad and magnified display. Well, I guess let's take a look. You pass your finger over the trackpad, waking the machine. S.H.I.E.L.D's security terminal is displayed on the console. This is a tremendous fuck up on their part. You sit before the shield terminal display. This is a map of S.H.I.E.L.'s Sentinel drone security fleet. The entrance to the refinery is in Zone A. If we want to gain access to the refinery, it may be necessary to clear the Sentinels from this zone. There are currently 3 drones patrolling Zone A. Perhaps there is a way of relocating them to other zones. And I have a sequence allotment of 10. So, okay. Deselect. Can I just move the drones directly? I'm assuming it won't just be this simple. Select destination from the neighboring boundaries of the security zone. Yeah, okay. It does seem to be that simple. That's weird. Deselect. I'm just wondering if there's something else going on here, because, like, we've got an awful lot of sequence allotment for the task that we need to do, and maybe I'm regarding this too much in a sort of like a gamesy sense. Just seems too easy to be right, is all. Oh, origin zone unsecured, allocating drone from maximum capacity neighbor. Okay, here we go. Trickery. It seems there is a precaution in place to prevent any zone from being unsecured, but there may be a way around this. No zone can host more than 3 drones. When one contains no drones, a maximum capacity neighbor reallocates a drone to its unsecured neighbor. This means that when removing the last drone from Zone A, we must be sure none of its neighbors are at maximum capacity. Yeah, no, I got it. Well... So... This is tricky. Alright. Zones H and I are underserved, so we can go... We can move a drone from here to there. E is already fine. C is a problem. We need to bump a drone from... So we got to bump a drone from H to I. Then a drone from C to D. Then a drone from D to H. That should... Yeah, and then we can bounce one from E and then send this drone to E. That should cover it, right? Okay. The drones have been cleared from the entrance area of the refinery. I suspect this will be helpful. My thinking was maybe we had to move them in such a way that we had a path in from, like, dimes, but apparently not going to be a problem. Alright, well, now that we've done what we needed to do here, let's maybe take a look in these containers. You sift through some of the clippings that fill the containers. Most relate to the catalytic cracking unit explosion of YX-10. Descriptions of the aftermath, the destruction, the displacement, the workers who died. Your father is listed among the names. What about this one? You attempt to open the box, but it's locked. Should we ask Duck about it? No, I am not allowed to do that, actually. Not even really allowed to, like, have a goodbye conversation with him. Alright, later, Duck. I'm assuming there's nothing else in here. Yeah, alright. I think we were pretty thorough. I guess I'm just leaving. Alright, you know what? I think that's where we're going to call it for today. We've definitely uncovered some things, and also... we are aware that this story has taken some... There are some turns here that I was not expecting. The idea of this, like... This AI that is essentially a rogue backup of a person somehow trying to assemble there's some flesh stuff going on here that I was really not prepared for. All right, that's it for us for today. When you come back next time, probably around about Tuesday, maybe Monday, I'd say more likely Tuesday. We're going to pick up this trail, and hopefully it's not going to lead us into anything terribly disgusting. And we'll see you then.